Hello everybody, this is Kay and welcome to my channel, Junking with Gigi. I am going to share a project with you today that I've been doing this type of page or a folio for my journals for a while, but I haven't done a video on them, and I just thought I'd hop on here today and make a video real quick on making this page folio for to put in a signature for a journal. Now this one is going to go in this journal I'm currently working on, and when you pop it in there like this, what you have is a side pocket here, a side pocket here, and then on the other side of that signature on that same page you also have a double side pocket. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. This is one of those projects that you have to do it before you sew your signatures into your journal, obviously, because we're going to attach a piece of vellum to the top of well, you can use any paper you want, but I like to use vellum, and this is just a page of tea-dyed or coffee-dyed paper, coffee-dyed I believe, that I've sewn this vellum onto to make it into this kind of double side pocket folio for your junk journals. And I like to use vellum because I like the idea of being able to stick your tag or other item in there and kind of being able to see it through the vellum like that. So you can use any papers you want. You can use book page, scrapbook paper, anything you want to make these, but this is just the way I like to do it so that they're see-through pockets. So what you need to gather for this project is obviously your back sheet, which I'm going to put this one back in the folio that I made it for, or back in the signature that I made it for this journal that I'm working on, and it went right in here. But I have two more signatures for this journal that I want to do this type of a page in. So let me set that aside. Let me just take this one for starters. So I'm going to look through here and pick out, I've already got some stenciling on that one, so I don't really want to use it. I could use the music manuscript paper. That'd be a good one to do this on. But also, oh shoot, I already put something on the back of that. That would have been a nice one to do it on as well because of the pattern of the paper, but I already stuck a tuck spot on the back side of that, so not gonna use that one. Let me use the music manuscript piece for this one. So I'm just gonna pull that out, set that aside. So for this one, I think I want to use piece of light green vellum because that kind of goes with the kind of color scheme I'm going for on this particular signature. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to fold in each of the short ends about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch, like so. Just eyeballing it, not using a ruler on this part. And then, before I do anything else, I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and I'm going to do a zigzag stitch down each one of these edges. By putting that zigzag stitch on the edge, that makes that pocket edge just a little bit more robust. Vellum can be kind of fragile sometimes, but if you do that, you're just making a little bit more of a reinforced edge for your pockets. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is, if you can see it, my vellum is a little bit wider than my manuscript paper, so I'm going to mark that with a pencil and just grab my trimmer out real quick. Hang on a second. So I'm just going to put this in here and line that little pencil mark I made up there, and trim just a little bit off of this long end. Might not go through those threads, but you can always take, okay, did okay. You can always take your scissors and cut those threads off. I didn't have this problem on the last one. It was the vellum, piece of vellum I used was the right size, so. Moving right along, so there we have it. That's more, that fits the page. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to fold the vellum in half, long ways now, and make a little crease. And it's hard to do sometimes when I'm filming because I don't want to stick my head in the way. But I'm trying to get these lined up as best I can. And what that does is it gives me a little crease in my paper. I'm just going to kind of flatten it out, but you can see the line, so I'll know I'll have a stitching line when I go to sew this on. And so what I'm going to do now is I tried paper clipping it together at one time and then sewing, but my vellum still wanted to slip around a little bit. So what I've been doing since then is just putting a little bit of glue along these two long edges just to kind of hold my paper in place, because I like to sew the middle one first. So I'm just going to put a couple of little spots of, this is my art glitter glue, along each edge, and then I'm going to line this up, and I'm just going to try and make it so that it's about the same distance from the ends on each side. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means, but I try to get it close just by eyeballing it. And then I'm going to turn it around and do the same thing over here on this side. And this is just holding it in place for me while I sew. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my machine, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch it to a straight stitch, and I'm going to start at the edge of my vellum pocket here and go all the way through to the other end. And I do a little back stitching on the ends too, just to knot my threads. So I'm going to do my middle seam, then each of my two side seams, and I'll be right back. And here we have it. And now I have a gazillion little threads to trim off, so I'm going to do that real quick. At this point, you need to decide, do you want your pockets on the inside of the fold or the outside? I think, what did I do on my other one? Let me look at that real quick. And this one, I put it on the inside, so I think I'll just do it a little different and put the pockets on the outside for this one, just to be different. So you're just going to fold it in half like you would any other page for your signature. And this is the signature it's going into. I think I had it right here. Maybe I had it right here. I don't really remember now, but I'm gonna probably, before I sew in my signatures on this journal, go through and look at everything again. So there you have it. So when you get to that page, you have your double pockets, just like on the other one. And I know that this vellum is green, but it's still translucent. You can still see through it. So I just think that looks so neat. All right, so I need to make one more for this signature. I'm gonna probably speed through this a little bit since I already explained the process to you. But I just need to choose a page. There's a page of tea-dyed paper I could use. I don't want to use the manuscript paper again because I did that already. Yeah, maybe on this one, I'll just use this middle page of this signature, which is gonna be the middle page, and I could put my pockets on the inside and just have them all together. So, but what I think I want to do here is maybe use a different color of vellum again. This is kind of dark, but you can see that it's still kind of see-through, and it kind of goes with some of the colors. There's a little bit of like red in the cover or the first page of this signature, but I've tried to put a few other like purple and red pieces. This is from a magazine in here, so I think this will go nicely in here with the red vellum. So once again, let me set that aside. I'm just gonna fold in, and actually, let me see if this is gonna be bigger. It's slightly bigger than the tea-dyed paper, but hardly any at all, so I'm not gonna worry about trimming this down like I had to do that last one. I'm just gonna fold over my edges. Zigzag stitching is done. I'm going to just fold this in half to get my sew line. Flatten it out a little. And then do my little glue dots to hold it in place. I got my sewing done. I got my trimming of the threads done. Now this one did actually end up hanging over a little, so I'm just going to take my scissors and trim that off now. Give it a nice fold. Pop it into my signature, which is going to be in the very middle on this one. So that'll be nice having it kind of all together and sticking some items in there. Doesn't have to be tags. It can be, oh, that one's too big. It can be, that's also too big. It can be journaling cards or ephemera or whatever you want it to be, but, and even though it's a darker color, you can still see through it. So this was the first one that I did off camera, and these are the two that I did today on camera, and you can see they come together really quickly for creating an interesting little pocket page for your journals. So I hope that you have enjoyed watching this video today. I hope you like this idea and get some inspiration from it and try to create some of these double side pocket folio pages for your journals. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.